Pops,
Yes.
we have another sign that the car dealership franchise existence, it's crumbling, it's cracking right in front of us, Dad. This time, I think it's crackling, God.
Oh, crackling? Crackling.
Break.
Snap, crackle, and popping.
All right, Volkswagen recently announced
Yes.
they are going to be launching the Scout brand.
Yes.
Scout is going to be their electric pickup truck and SUV from
Yes.
Volkswagen.
Yes.
All right. When their CEO, Herbert Diess, announced this on May 11th, he said in his announcement, quote, they plan to build a separate independent company
Yes.
to operate the brand.
Yes.
Now, we know we've been covering this with Ford Model E, and we've looked at the franchise dealer laws. In about 14 states, there's carve-out language that allows companies like Tesla to sell their cars directly to consumers,
Yes.
right? And a lot of those laws have things that state, well, if you're an existing automaker and you've sold through a dealership in our state before, you can't sell directly to consumer. But if you're a new automaker and you've never sold cars through a dealership before, you can.
Yes.
VW, in this statement,
Yes.
started to say, hey, we think we might sell cars directly to consumer. Now,
Well, they didn't say that.
and by not saying it, they said everything.
Yes.
Now, that led to some letters being
Yes.
sent from the National Automobile Dealers Association and a more pointed letter being sent from the North Carolina Automobile Dealers Association. Can I kind of like walk you through these letters and get your reaction?
Yeah, I think, if you were to break it down, they're looking for clarity.
They're looking for clarity and a bit more.
And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Honda just discontinue, or was that the Insight they discontinued?
I think the clarity is still in production.
Okay.
All right, so this letter from Michael Stanton, who is the president and CEO of the the National Automobile Dealers
Yes.
Association. He says, "Dear Scott Keogh is the president of VW here
Yes.
in America. We've been closely following the recent announcement from Volkswagen that the Scout brand will be returning to the U.S. market in the coming years." Because I guess it was actually internet. Who used to
It
have
was
Scout?
International Harvester.
Okay.
Want to know who the good dealer is in your neighborhood? Go to joinyaa.com and check out our crowdsourced dealer reviews. All of our community members coming together to help one another.
While these are early days, we encourage you to quickly and clearly communicate Scout's distribution plan to your dealers who have made significant investments to support VW's business model and transformation to electrification.
Yes.
Scott, we appreciate that you have been a consistent and full-throated advocate for the franchise dealer retail model. We firmly believe this model has served Volkswagen well through good times and bad and is poised to take the brand into the future. As you well understand, the longer your dealers go without information and answers to their questions, the more that speculation will fill the void. As plans begin to firm up for a launch of the Scout brand, we would appreciate you sharing what you can with us. We could also assist you with getting the information out to many state association executives who are currently getting questions from their dealers.
So he's saying, hey, let the dealers know what the hell your thinking is and what the hell is going to be going on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now,
sooner rather than later.
Now, Robert Glasser,
Yes.
potentially Glasser, who is the president of the North Carolina Automobile Dealers Association, his letter is a little bit longer. The meat and potatoes of this letter is, we have a current system in place.
We think it works great.
We think it works great. We think it's consumer-centric.
Well, that part's BS.
That part is definitely BS.
Yes.
The letter goes on to say, and probably the most pointed comments in the letter are, as such, today's VW dealers are also acutely concerned about the possibility that VW may attempt to introduce a new factory direct distribution channel to consumers in tandem with its distribution of vehicles through the VW dealer network. Stay with me here. Again, based on a century of consumer-centric retail experiences, dealers firmly believe that an independent network of highly competitive, well-compensated, and specially trained dealers is the most effective business model through which vehicle manufacturers and distributors can maximize both units sold and market share. Frankly, NCADA will use every legitimate resource available to enforce its existing franchise laws that prohibit VW and all other factories and distributors from selling vehicles in North Carolina in competition with their franchise
what
dealers.
They're saying is, hey, be prepared to go to war in court for the next 10 to 15 to 20 years if you have any hopes whatsoever or any thoughts whatsoever of selling direct to consumer. We're going to fight you tooth and nail.
This, to me, Dad, is the start of really what potentially could be one of the most complex and interesting battles in an industry that we've seen in a long time. Franchise dealers versus automakers, because the automakers are still reliant on their franchise dealers to sell their non-EV vehicles.
Yes.
Because all the carve-out laws that we've seen don't just say, hey, VW, go sell directly to consumer, nor would VW probably want to do that right now. Their model works, they make money, everyone's generally happy. The dealers are saying, don't set up these other companies and forget about us. We're going to probably try and go to the state legislatures and make sure that we're preserved in follow-on legislation. It's interesting to me as a young person who just thinks about all the waste associated with this. They're going to spend billions of dollars, both of them, lobbying, fighting. The lawyers are really going to be the winners here, and the politicians who get bribes.
Yes. So you have two groups that are going to really make out well in this. The lawyers, and in many cases, lawyers who have turned into politicians and are willing to accept lobbying money in order to, help either the dealer or the manufacturer. It depends which side they're on. But ultimately, it's the lawyers and the politicians that will be lining their pockets thoroughly with gold.
Does this remind you of the Ford? We put a video out, Ford's getting rid of the dealers. This was a couple months ago when the Ford Model E news came out. Does this feel similar to that, or does it feel different in any way?
I think in a sense it feels different. And when I say that, I say it because I think the dealers are more prepared and are laying the groundwork to really fight back. They know that they're going up against major corporations that have tons and tons of money. But they also know as a group, they have a lot of money. And they've already spent a lot of money to get a lot of these politicians in their pockets. Yeah, they're telling them, it's different in the sense that they are announcing through those letters, this is going to be a war of attrition. And there may be no winners in it, but this war is
the consumer's the winner. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, but this will go on for a long, long time.
All right, time will tell. We'll keep you updated. Thanks, Pops.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, thank you.